Hey, Jared and Buster from Southern Homesteads here. Hey, we've gotten a lot of comments and questions about our firewood totes here. So in today's video, we're gonna go through how we build these and where we get these from. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe, hit the like button. It really helps us out. So some of the benefits of storing our firewood this way is several fold. Number one, what we're gonna need, we've got 3 homes here on our farm, and the amount of firewood that we're gonna need stacked next to each house for the winter, it's kind of a pain. It puts bugs next to your house year round. We prefer to not have our firewood sitting there next to the house. It also gives us the benefit of splitting wherever we want. In the wintertime, we split in the middle of the field where it's nice and warm. In the summertime, we put it in the trees, or, you know, if we've got a log, there's no point in cutting logs up out in the woods if they're down. We'll just bring a tote out with us, bring the log splitter out there, split right there in place, and then we just pick up with these with forks on our tractor, move them wherever we want. So we shuffle them around that way. So huge benefits to having these. The other benefit is storage during the summer. We don't want to look at things. We don't want to look at the firewood. So we'll move these off where we're not staring at them. We don't have to worry about them. They can be drying anywhere that we left them. So we start with one of these, they call them an IBC Tote. Now these are used ones. We pay a little bit for them, but we've worked out a deal with a manufacturing plant that has a bunch of them, and so as long as we take all of them, they're about as close to free as we can get them. Now one of the things, you can find them on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist, they're all over the place. One of the things to just note is when we're gonna cut them up like this, I don't care if they hold fluids. So if you're looking at them on Facebook Marketplace, they seem to be going for about $60 a piece is their going rate right now. If you're looking for them and you want them cheaper, just start looking and calling them and asking them, hey, do you have any that don't hold liquid? A lot of people are using these as water totes. And so hit them up, find out if they've got some that have broken bladders in them, because most of the ones with broken bladders, they're willing to let go super cheap. So in order to do this build, we're gonna need a couple of things. We're gonna need it's just an Allen wrench with a star key on it to be able to pull off the top braces. We're gonna use a grinder with a cutting disc, and we're gonna smooth out the edges with a sanding disc. When we're done, a drill, a skill saw, and then we're gonna use stainless steel zip ties. Now I put a link down in the description for these. I put a couple of different kinds. There's an epoxy coated, which are black, and then these are just the normal stainless. And I'll tell you, whether you plan on building one of these or not, these are super valuable to have. They don't rust, they're super strong, and it's just a normal zip tie. Loops through like a normal zip tie. There's even a tightening tool that will tighten and cut them, and I didn't bring one down with me because we don't actually use it on these totes. We don't make the lids super tight, but it's, again, I've linked it down in the description. I strongly recommend that you have some of these around your homestead or farm. We use them for securing fencing temporarily to a post. We'll use them for a ton of different things. Like I said, it's like a normal zip tie. It's stainless steel. They're strong. There's no issue with them sitting out in the sun for a while, where a normal plastic one winds up getting brittle and breaking. So our first step is we're gonna take these ladder bars off of the top of this tote and pop it. Pop the bladder out of the cage. Now those bars, you can just dispose of those bars. You won't use them again later. Now we're gonna cut the front of the cage down just a little bit, which is gonna make it easier to access the firewood and get it in and out when we're using it, especially when it starts to get down less than half in one of these totes. So the cage is ready to go. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut our tote in half. Okay, so now this is a very scientific process here. We just take a skill saw and rip them. We're gonna diagonally rip that. And just take a second and make sure that you got your orientation right on your tote so that it's gonna cover the whole tote. Okay, so he's got it cut in half now. Gonna simply set it up on top. Now he's gonna drill his holes, zip tie it, and then angle cut the front of it just to give us better access. Now he's just gonna open up the face of that just a little bit to make it for easier access. Your front zip tie you missed.
Which one? Oh. Ta-da.
That easy, that fast. We have our firewood tote. Now we're gonna use the other half. We will go ahead and use that one for our next tote. So we won't even bother to have to cut another one. We'll just set that on top of a cage. We'll pull a bladder out and just use that half right there. So guys, once again, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. We're starting to bring a whole lot more stuff that will make your life easier on the homestead to you. So check out our cabin kits. Check us out online, on Instagram, on Facebook. Let us know what you want to know about. Let us know ways that you wish that you could cut some time. We'll show you how we do it. Have a good day.